Joyce DeWitt was born on April 23, 1949, in Wheeling, West Virginia. Paul and Norma DeWitt were her parents. Although Joyce was born in West Virginia, she grew up primarily in Speedway, Indiana, a small town that is an Indianapolis suburb. She cultivated her strong work ethic and Midwestern ideals there. She was raised in a close-knit family with her siblings, including her brother Doug, as the middle child of 4 in the DeWitt household. Her upbringing was marked by strong communal ties, moral principles, and a heavy emphasis on education and the arts, particularly theater, which would become her life's work. Joyce first had an interest in performing while attending Speedway Senior High School. Her aptitude and enthusiasm for performing were immediately recognized, and she began participating in school plays and drama programs, which paved the way for her eventual career in show business. DeWitt pursued her academic interests after high school, attending Ball State University in Muny, Indiana, which is renowned for having a robust theatrical program. She improved her voice, her movement, and her comprehension of the play's events while earning a bachelor's degree in theater and learning a lot about playing there. DeWitt traveled to the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, in California. She obtained a master's degree in fine arts there in 1974 because she was committed to improving her studies and succeeding in a highly competitive sector. Her achievement was all the more remarkable because she was one of the few students accepted into UCLA's MFA program, which is regarded as one of the top acting schools in the nation. When DeWitt was just 13 years old, she began performing in plays at her neighborhood community theater. She learned a lot about connecting with live audiences from these early performances, which also confirmed her love for acting. Her commitment to the theater translated nicely to the big screen when she made her television debut in 1975 in an episode of the well-known crime thriller Beretta. Despite the brief role, it was a significant turning point that opened up other TV roles. When Joyce was cast in the ABC comedy Three's Company in 1977 as Janet Wood, the witty and amiable brunette roommate, her career made a significant leap forward. She became well-known worldwide for her role. The comedy, which focused on 3 housemates and their humorous mistakes with their owners, soon became an international sensation. DeWitt gained a large following by portraying Janet as intelligent, humorous, and frequently the voice of reason. She appeared in 171 episodes across 8 seasons of the show until its cancellation in 1984. The show's enduring popularity can be attributed in large part to her friendship with co-stars John Ritter, Suzanne Summers, and later Priscilla Barnes. DeWitt appeared in an episode of the 1984 anthology drama series Finder of Lost Loves following the conclusion of Three's Company. However, she took the unexpected decision to leave the spotlight and give up acting for a while after this appearance. She took a pause for personal reasons. DeWitt needed some time to reflect, pursue new hobbies, and rekindle her creative spark after years of working hard due to fame. She began undertaking charitable and humanitarian work during this time, primarily for the hungry and impoverished. With a role in Noises Off at the Cherry County Playhouse in Michigan in 1991, Joyce DeWitt returned to acting. Her gradual comeback to show business began with this comeback to the stage, which demonstrated how much she still enjoyed performing live. 4 years later, in 1995, she starred in the romantic comedy television film Spring Fling, which included popular performers Pat Harrington Jr., Jason Hervey, Justin Burnett, and James Eas. She appeared as a guest star on the CBS series Sybil in the same year in an episode titled The Odd Couples. This demonstrated her versatility and skill at timing her jokes. Her return to the TV industry was further cemented when she made a guest appearance on the popular Fox series Living Single. In 2009, DeWitt made her film debut in a small role in the family action film Call of the Wild, which was adapted from the well-known book of the same name by Jack London. She returned to the stage that same year in the musical comedy Married Alive, which was a light-hearted look at contemporary marriage and relationships. These passages demonstrated her continued enjoyment of performing and her versatility in a wide range of musical styles. She starred in the independent comedy Failing Better Now, 2010, which tells the story of a writer and an odd rock musician who embark on an odd quest to locate a lost cat. Despite playing a minor role in the film, DeWitt gave the bizarre tale more nuance and charm. In the 2011 off-Broadway comedy Miss Abigail's Guide to Dating, Mating, and Marriage, Joyce portrayed the title role. Relationship guru Miss Abigail offers humorous but frequently outdated advice on life and love. In the same year, she returned to Canada to perform in the Dinner with Friends play at Hamilton, Ontario's Theatre Aquarius. This well-reviewed drama, which allowed DeWitt to showcase her emotional range and stage presence, explores the complex relationships between friendship and marriage. She appeared in 2 theatrical adaptations of Love Letters, a personal drama about 2 individuals who correspond for decades, the following year. She portrayed Tab Hunter, a 1950s Hollywood star, and Tony Dow, who appeared on the television series Leave It to Beaver, in various roles. She was praised for her genuine and poignant actions. With addition to her career as an actor, DeWitt has dabbled with television production. Behind the Camera, the unauthorized story of Three's Company, an NBC documentary, was produced and presented by her in 2003. She became well known because of the issues, conflicts, and triumphs that occurred behind the scenes of the show. DeWitt had the opportunity to share her side of the tale, particularly on the long-rumored altercation she had with co-star Suzanne Summers, and the film demonstrated how the performers interacted with one another outside of work. She demonstrated her versatility as co-host and co-producer, as well as her desire to respectfully and honestly honor the show's past. Despite her fame and notoriety, Joyce DeWitt has been rather silent about her personal life, particularly when it comes to romances and family matters. For decades, her fans and followers have been intrigued by the fact that she has never been married. She has never had children, which sets her apart from many of her counterparts in the entertainment business. This is due to the fact that many of them must juggle prominent careers with family obligations. Although DeWitt hasn't spoken these private choices much in public, it's obvious that she prioritized her independence, her career in acting and theater, and perhaps even her own personal development over what society expected of her. Her decision to remain childless and unmarried may reflect her commitment to autonomy and her wish to maintain her independence in a career that is frequently and continuously subject to public scrutiny. One of the most significant relationships in her life was with actor and director Ray Benica. From 1973 to 1980, the pair spent 7 years together. DeWitt rose to national fame at that time for her role as Three's Company's Janet Wood. Benica's most well-known role at the time was that of Benny Goodwin from the sitcom Roa. Benica's background as an actor and director likely resonated with DeWitt's commitment to the craft. News reports from that era frequently discussed their relationship, which was treated quite seriously despite the fact that they were never married. Although the reasons behind their breakup were never fully revealed to the public, it marked the end of DeWitt's most well-known romance. DeWitt largely kept her romantic life quiet after their breakup. This further supported the notion that, in a society where rumors and sensationalism are prevalent, she values privacy and personal boundaries. On a more serious note, DeWitt briefly returned to the public glare after running afoul of the law later in life. She was stopped for driving under the influence in El Segundo, California, on July 4, 2009. According to reports, she was pulled over by police who believed she was intoxicated after driving past a police barricade close to a park. She received a ticket after being brought to the nearby police station. After that, she was released on her own initiative. Since DeWitt often has a positive public image, many of her long-standing fans were taken aback by her incarceration. This incident got me to thinking about the private issues that even the most composed public figures may be dealing with behind the scenes. A year later, the DUI case's legal ramifications became evident. DeWitt entered a plea of not guilty to 1 count of driving under the influence on May 27, 2010. Consequently, the court ordered her to complete a 9-month alcohol education and rehabilitation program and placed her on 3-year probation. This served as a form of discipline as well as a means of assisting her in maintaining sobriety and permanently altering her behavior. She was also ordered to pay a $510 base fine in addition to these terms, which was raised by penalty assessments, making the total amount she had to pay significantly greater. She cooperated and chose to enter a plea of no contest, so the court agreed to dismiss a second misdemeanor case against her. DeWitt's otherwise flawless record at the time included a negative incident, but she handled it responsibly and maturely, serving her sentence and avoiding the spotlight for years. She hasn't experienced any public legal issues thereafter, and it appears that the incident was a singular error in judgment rather than a broader pattern. Joyce DeWitt's role as Janet Wood on the popular sitcom Three's Company made her renowned. But even after all these years, she has often stated that she still finds it difficult to watch a particular 1977 episode. The show in question is Strange Bedfellows, Season 2, Show 5. On October 18, 1977, it debuted. At first glance, the episode may appear to be just another dumb one in the series, complete with clumsy jokes and slapstick humor. DeWitt has never quite recovered from the emotional scar he sustained from shooting it, though. After drinking too much, John Ritter's character Jack Tripper ends up sleeping with his roommate Janet. This leads to a great deal of humorous misunderstanding and anxiety. Although the scenario may have been humorous on screen, it marked a sea change in DeWitt's relationship with the directors off-screen. Joyce has stated in several interviews over the years that she was extremely concerned with the script, particularly the way it discussed her role. She believed that it damaged Janet's reputation and reduced her to a laugh trap persona. DeWitt was an expert in her field. She was classically trained in theater and holds a master's degree from UCLA. She put a lot of effort into portraying Janet as more than just the antithesis of the physical comedy. She was a strong, independent, and intelligent woman. According to reports, Joyce DeWitt felt powerless and her creativity was pushed aside when the directors forced her to do the part against her will. She began to feel that Three's Company wasn't developing in the character-driven humor she had anticipated. This was among the first times she became aware of it. She started to question her place in the production during this period of artistic dissatisfaction. Future issues between the actors and the show's directors were paved the way for by this. In addition to making her feel horrible, the scene required her and her co-star John Ritter to be in a suggestive stance and quite close to one another. Joyce and John were good friends and had a great deal of professional regard for one another. Joyce subsequently claimed that the action felt hurried, predatory, and odd. She believed that rather than illustrating the character's development, it was designed primarily to shock readers and garner more views. Although the live studio audience's laughing was intended to provide humor, it instead made her feel more exposed and vulnerable at the time. Her negative emotions were exacerbated by the cultural milieu of the era. Three's Company was well known for its sultry jokes and hints, and television was innovating in the late 1970s. However, this incident went too far for Joyce. She believed that the honor of her character had been stripped away for the sake of show. She has frequently discussed how the humorous tone of the show occasionally conflicted with her own acting instincts and values. Strange Bedfellows, in her opinion, was a symbol of everything that went wrong with the production of the show. Over the years, she has been questioned about that incident in fan letters, conventions, and interviews. DeWitt, however, has consistently established boundaries. Since it first aired, she has publicly declared that she has never viewed it again. She has even stated that she doesn't watch DVD sets that contain rerun marathons. In a rare moment of weakness, she murmured, "It brings back too much, once. Not because of what happened on screen, but because of how it made me feel as a person and as an actor. I have chosen not to go through that again." The fact that Joyce DeWitt chose not to discuss this incident in the context of her entire career demonstrates how emotionally taxing working behind the scenes can be for performers. Actors are often more than just line readers. They must uphold their personal principles, respect their characteristics, and be loyal to their values. While DeWitt's decision may not seem like much in the grand scheme of TV history, it was a pivotal moment for her, a personal protest against artistic decisions that caused her personal pain. Because Strange Bedfellows blended flirtation with farce, fans of Three's Company still consider it a classic. That isn't the case for Joyce DeWitt, however. She wishes to avoid thinking about this. She would prefer not to read that chapter.